Let's skip the beard talk today. Let's make him happy.
What?
We can talk about your house, right?
Yeah, we could.
You know,
Maybe.
in fact, do you want to talk about, just jump right into business, and then we can talk about other stuff at the
Sure.
end?
Yep.
Let's do it that way.
Business in the front, party in the back, you know?
Exactly.
All right. Hey, what's going on, guys? Phil here with podcast 217. I am back with today's guest, Daeron Katz. A little bit past due, but that is actually because of me. I was up in the mountains, frolicking, doing what hobbits do best on trails, eating a lot of food, and enjoying some company. I've got Daeron Katz. He is the Senior Marketing and Community Manager at Piranha Games. Like I say, welcome back. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing very well. I enjoyed your pictures from your weekend away. I saw lots of trees and rivers and water. I immediately thought, oh, Phil needs a boat.
I don't think that would have worked.
Not on that river, probably not. A little boat. But yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. It's a busy time of year, as I said in my Monday post, in Mechwarrior headquarters.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you guys got the Steam launch December 10th for Mechwarrior 5.
Steam and GOG
DLC
for Mechwarrior
and
5.
GOG,
and we got the DLC. And at the same time, obviously, we're attempting to do this, Mechwarrior Online revival. So it's a lot of stuff going on. It's all Mechwarrior, and it's a lot of fun. It's fun. It's exhausting. But also, did you even see my post? Did you see my my Alpha Lance?
Yeah, I did.
Sidestrafe messaged me. He's like, nice blurry shot of your little mechs or whatever. Yes, it was a blurry shot. I'm not a photographer first, man. But
are you gonna paint them?
You know, it's the same thing. I still have that model kit that I was given at MechCon that I haven't touched because no, I'm not an artist, man. The problem with any of this, like even back in my Dungeons and Dragons days, my early BattleTech days, I didn't paint. Number one, I have really shaky hands, not that shaky, but not good at the fine details, and I leave it to the pros. And so if somebody wants to build my models, paint my models, that kind of thing, I'd absolutely be down for it. I'll pay people for it because that is their talent. It is not my talent. So I've always, my entire life, my minis have always been gray or whatever the base color was.
No color.
Lead back in the days.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I just don't have that talent in me. But there's some really good painters. Remember UC? Remember? Yep. Yeah. So he was an amazing mini painter, and we know some within our community. What about you? You got all those minis. You got not only the minis that you got with the box set, but you have all the minis from before.
Yeah. Well, most of those are gone. Not all. But the box set, I haven't opened it up at all.
You haven't even opened it?
It's still in the box. No, I don't want to.
What, are you going to save it and sell it for like $1 million?
No. I'm saving it for an unboxing video, but
nice.
We're in the process of all this going on. But before we get into personal stuff, because apparently talking about beards and our lives is not interesting to some. Now. So you know what? We'll talk about that later. So for all of you mech bros out there, let's talk business. I want to get straight to the point. I tweeted out about cadets. Didn't get a response necessarily. Someone said, I think you may have posted on the forums that you're looking into it.
Mm-hmm.
Main problem right now is cadets have since the PSR reset, they start at 3.5. The main issue I see personally, and others I see, is they go up against players like myself that have played for years, and I feel that shouldn't be the case. Many, even the Gulag and the community said put them in 4.5. Can we get a response from you on an official accord to that?
Mm-hmm. It's hard, a lot of times people will tweet stuff that I want to respond to, and many times I'll find a creative way to respond without responding or whatever, like people will tweet just, hey, show me, new Mech 5 content for the DLC or whatever. And I have some, but, there's a whole system of marketing that I have to adhere to. And absolutely, I saw your tweet and I wanted to respond, but here's basically what's going on. The cadet starting tier is, I've taken it on completely. I understand exactly why people are complaining about it. I understand exactly what the situation is that is going on and why there would be a desire to move them back to 4.5, or, basically the community kind of gave me a spread in the feedback from 4.5 to 5 for the starting tier. And the main argument against it that I'm getting internally is that starting them at tier 5 or 4.5 or whatever basically gives people the opportunity to create trolling accounts that they can then, go seal clubbing or whatever, right? Start at tier 5, everybody's a noob, and they're just going around and destroying everybody. I understand that concern. So basically, I understand the situation now, and I understand the concern for why it was changed. My problem is, number one, from talking to people, I'm not finding the evidence that the trolling accounts were really happening on any significant basis, to where it's like a daily occurrence or anything like that. I'm still looking into that, trying to find the data so I know what it was like before the switch was made. But my feeling basically at this point is that we set it up so that Cadet start at tier 3 to avoid them being placed in tier 5 and potentially getting trolled by experienced players who come in there to just, cut through people like a knife through butter, right? And so in order to avoid the possibility of a Cadet getting destroyed by a top tier player starting in tier 5, we've moved them into tier 3, where my understanding again is now on a regular basis these Cadets are getting destroyed by you and by other top tier players. I mean, I've seen instances of this over and over and over and over again. Just watching your streams, I see it, right? You can tell when you're going up against a Cadet. And so I just feel like in order to avoid one potentially negative situation, we've created a for sure negative situation. And I wonder what the difference is between those two scenarios. So I'm working on it very hard. There's internal debates going on. There's data, and I'm talking with customer support and all those things to try and figure out what the actual truth is and the evidence behind it. My feeling is, yes, let's get them down to 4.5 or 5, somewhere in that range, and start them off in a way where they're not going to get instantly beat up by tier 2 and tier 1 players that know what they're doing every time they drop. Rather, let's put them in tier 4.5 or whatever, and maybe those trolling accounts exist. I don't know. Again, that's the data I'm going at. People can feedback on this video. Let me know what you think. Did you experience it before the switch happened? But anyway, yeah, I take it extremely seriously. I would love to fricking drop that now or before we break for the holidays or whatever. I've totally taken this up. I'm going to do my best to make something happen, or at least get a solid answer with data backing it up that I can bring to you guys and let you know. I absolutely 100% agree that starting the new player experience is essential to our growing the game again, and we would be stupid not to address it,
even if it was
especially with it what's happening in the holidays and more people coming in or whatever. So
I mean, my point of view is I can understand the concern.
Mm-hmm.
If the Cadets were all being put in the one queue just together, that would definitely be potential for exploitation. But there's also a few other things. One, new accounts have to go through tutorial. So if someone's going to do it, obviously their account won't get banned, but you're having to invest like 45 minutes just to create your account and all that.
It's
and then on top of that,
significant deterrent, right?
Even if you were to say, well, how about you just behind the scenes make it so that a Cadet, even if I'm going to toss this out there, even if there's just that they can't be in a match with the tier 1 player, like just exclude them from ever that happening or to whatever. But yeah, I would just say it would be interesting to hear feedback, because I know there's been accounts in the past that were created to troll streamers, but like if they were moved to 4.5, my argument would be that they're also going to have tier 5 and tier 4 and tier 3 players in their matches already, which is already a buffer. So you're not guaranteed to get any Cadets in your match in the first place. But also, just because they're tier 5 and 4 and 3, it's not like they're bad players. Some people are just tier 5 and they have a lot of experience as well. So like maybe not skill level wise, but it's just one of those things where
there's a lot of casual players that have been playing since launch that are still tier 4 or whatever.
It pains me. I had a match, felt so bad. Solaris City, I lock onto a target. It's a catapult trial, dual LRM-20s and a tag laser, and he's running right at me, and I melted him. And then proceeded to go, why are you doing this on this map? I hit tab and I see a cadet and I'm like, I am so sorry. I feel bad.
So put yourself in that person's perspective, that player. They don't know what the hell they're doing. No. They're instantly going up against people like you that are absolute pros, and you're not even trolling them, right?
No.
So that's my issue. You feel guilty every time I see it. You feel guilty
so bad.
Rightly so, but not your fault. Now, the thing is, for me also, as far as like somebody starting a tier 5 account or a new account to troll people, when I was creating those accounts for the hunting events that I used to do, like, the bounty hunter or whatever, I create a new account for it. So I'd always be starting off in tier 5. And, I'm not the best player, but when you go up against tier 5 and tier 4 players and you have, any experience, well, at least if you're at my level or up, which is a lot of people, it just took me a few matches and I was in tier 3. I killed so many people so effectively that it was literally just a few matches and I was out of tier 5, out of tier 4, right into tier 3. So if somebody's creating an account to troll those people, if he's trolling them effectively, in other words, annihilating all the enemies every match, then he's going to shoot up real quick, and
well, not to mention
out of the and
other
another tier 5 account.
Tier 5 and tier 4 and tier 3 players can report people, and I would love to see the data, because this may occur out there, and so I don't want to be ignorant and just say no, it doesn't. But from my perspective, I just don't see it happening. But that's from mine. I'm at tier 1.
Of course,
I don't, like.
And I've said it since we started this. My saying, you don't know what you don't know, and I completely apply that to myself all the time. I don't know what I don't know. All I can do right now is pursue this as effectively as possible, and get the data, get the truth, and hopefully make decisions based on that instead of what could potentially happen or what
I just hope that, not just you, obviously I understand you understand this, but Matt, Russ, like, priority, like, I get it. If you guys are going to do quarterly patches, you're not coming back to the new year. It means March timeframe. That's cool. Okay, we got to wait a few more months for whatever you guys end up solidifying on the list of the community. Just this, to me, is such priority, and there's so much angst out there. And the community members, I feel like rightfully so. Like, it's not cool, and we would just like at least an answer.
Well,
hopefully
I can say
sooner
this.
than later.
Obviously my my direction and my goal has been to form a consensus on all these various topics and categories. By far, I can say this is the number one thing people have requested.
Okay.
Absolutely. If there's a consensus about anything out there, it is the starting cadet tier. And I, hands down, nothing was even close. So I'm not going to ignore that. Again, I'm not going to throw PGI or anybody at PGI under the bus in regards to this. There may be the data and the proof and the reasons to not do that, and to do it, and maybe still address this issue in a different way.
Sure.
But right now, to me, the simplest solution is to move cadets to 4.5, and that's what I'm gunning for. And unless the data and the reasons present themselves to not do that, then hopefully that is what can happen, and hopefully as soon as possible. So all I can say at this point, I can't say anything definitive. I can say I'm absolutely focusing on it, working on it, and we'll let everybody know as soon as possible whatever feedback I get, and we can go from there. So it is absolutely forefront on my on my list.
Okay, so obviously last week you also posted the list of items that you've collected from the community, the outline. Pretty on point.
Pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah, obviously I haven't gone through the forums, seeing if there was anything missing. I do know one of the quick things that you commented on, because it wasn't there, was going back to strictly solo queue and group queue, and you made a comment of basically saying if population, of course, that would happen.
There's various things that people want that I totally understand and want as well and would like to see happen, but for them to happen, something else or other things have to happen first. You can't just immediately, in my opinion, divide up. We went to a combined queue for a reason. Um, I understand absolutely why people don't like that and would rather have just a group queue and solo queue again, but it was a population issue.
Sure.
So we have to either figure out a workaround or we have to build that population up. Like, to me, I think, again, I think I mentioned this last time. We're going to split up hopefully the patches quarterly. So we, throughout the 2021, we'll have several updates, four updates, if not more. And when you're basically planning these and setting up a roadmap or whatever, this would be something that, in my opinion, we'd move down to like the third quarter or something like that, based on hopefully the first two quarters bringing back population and making that possible. But if to just do it right now, we're back in the same issue that we had before, which was long queues and whatever other issues people were having. So I put that back on the list because, yeah, I'd like to see that too. I know lots of people would. Again, it's not up to me what I want to see, but it's there to discuss and to basically break it down and figure out what we're going to do. But yeah, absolutely. I have added a few things to that outline, and I probably will add some more based on the discussion that goes on over the coming weeks, and even I'm still catching up on stuff from the weekend, but yeah, it's kind of a living outline, and we'll keep working with it and hashing things out over the coming weeks. So basically, yeah, last week I posted the outline. This week, all the categories have been moved to the developers corner under the command chair.
Yep.
And they all have separate threads now. People are already totally diving into it. Funny thing happened when I posted it last night. It was the end of the workday, so people were kind of not necessarily as available as they were earlier in the day. And when I made the post initially, I shut down the other thread, but then realized from people contacting me that the new threads were locked, and it wasn't as yes, it could easily be chalked up to, oh, Daeron's an idiot and he just didn't unlock the threads or enable comments or whatever, but that's not the case. Basically, what I found out, I was kind of in panic mode. Why aren't people posting? I kept seeing the numbers go up for people viewing the threads, but zero posts. I'm like, this is really weird. People are always posting, if not just to say first or second or whatever. And so then, yeah, basically I found out from Jamie, our web guru, that command chair category or anything basically that was posted in there by default had comments off, even if you had comments selected on. I didn't know that. So anyway, my apologies for the delay in being able to post in them. It wasn't necessarily my fault. It was, but
it was your fault.
It was my fault. Yeah. But anyway, we enabled comments, and they're off to the races. There's already tons of comments, and it's
obviously this process. I've seen a few comments now on my stream that people think there's too much talk going on. Let's just say that. And my argument, I guess, against that sort of thought process is, well, you'd argue when there's hastily decisions made. And also on this, if I'm honest, the feeling I've got from talking to you has been that it's not like anything was realistically going to happen anyway before the holidays. So that all being said, we had time to really dive in and talk about it.
Man, I'm a gamer, like I'm frustrated, that I've had to wait so long for Cyberpunk or for Star Citizen or whatever, like I fucking get it, I get it. Absolutely. When people are frustrated, oh, it's just more talk about more talk. Man, I know where they're coming from. I understand not having patience. You love this game. You want to play it now. You want these changes now. So do I. And if I could make this stuff happen instantly, I would. Although I can't, right? Because if I'm going to make changes instantly, what am I making those changes based on? Based on what I think the changes should be, or what we at PGI, somewhat what the community wants, but we really do need to hash things out. And here's the other thing is, I came into PGI and PGI's been a developer for 20 years. They do things the way they do. They have a process. I don't walk in the door and say, all right, everybody, everything that you've been doing for 20 years, I'm changing it. You know, we're gonna do things, turn on a dime, make decisions, you know, quickly. And it's a process. And so
Sure.
I understand the frustration. I understand not being patient, but here's my perspective on this, okay? It is what it is. I hate that term now, but it is. Like there's a fixed process to make things work, but the important thing to focus on for me is that it is working. It is
Sure.
moving forward, even if slowly. I don't freaking care. I'm the kind of person who I know that if every day you take one step in a year, you've taken 365 steps, right? Towards whatever goal it is
Sure.
that you're doing. So I'm old enough to have a little bit more patience, maybe, or at least understanding that I can get up every day and smash my head against the wall because I'm frustrated that it's not going fast enough. Or I can just go, this is the way it is, and I'm going to do my freaking best to make things happen within the system, you know, like, and that's where I'm at. I have the opportunity here. I understand the frustration. I understand the anger, but I'm not going to stop. If you guys want to, you know, go away for a month or whatever, and not listen to me posting another Monday thing about how there's going to be more discussion, I get that, man. And take a break. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's probably better for your health. But I will keep going, and I will keep working with the people that do want to participate in this process right now. And to
Sure.
me, the process right now is significantly important.
It's very.
Right now,
Yeah.
what we, like I said, we're going to hit the ground running in January, right? But what are we going to be running towards? Well, that's what we're deciding right now.
Sure.
So you can step away and not be a part of the process, or you can be a part of the process. I, you know, basically wish and hope that as many of you as possible will be a part of the process, because that's going to allow us to have a better outcome. So
Okay.
is it frustrating? Yes, but it is the way it is. There's a
Sure.
lot of talk, there's a lot of discussions, there's a lot of meetings, there's a
Sure.
lot of debating things.
Well, there's a lot of voices too, and there's a lot of
There's a
opinions,
lot of
and
voices.
you don't want to like. Oh, one thing too is like, again, you can miss out on something, and what if
Absolutely.
that one little thing makes a big difference because it's a different angle that you're looking at, and that's one thing. Like, you know, doing podcast, a few people have asked. I'm like, I'm going to assume that I'm always wrong, but I'm also going to question everything because why not? Like, what do we have to lose? I'm not going to dig in my heels. But speaking of opinions and thoughts and all of that, me and you have talked obviously about like town hall. We've done those in the past for Piranha Games, and so one of the ideas that I had was, hey, maybe just maybe in a professional relationship that NGNG can host. And full disclosure, that would be a where PGI pays me to host and moderate their services, to do this town hall, collect the questions, ask you guys. You know, obviously we've called them town halls in the past. That's where you make a post of going over whatever questions or comments, and it could be in sort of parallel with another update to sort of the list of items, and hey, we're even more concrete. Is there any questions that you have about this? Is that sort of I mean, we've talked obviously back and forth. That's sort of what we're looking at possibly doing, but it doesn't look like it's going to be in November.
No, I would guess early December, and as early as possible. There's just too much going on, not enough time to, you know, do it by this weekend or whatever. So I think so. The significance of this town hall would be that by early December, we're going to have already been in these individual threads discussing, you know, new player experience and maps and game modes or whatever. And so my hope would be by the time we get to doing a town hall or whatever we're going to do, people aren't sending in questions like, can we get the Mackie, you know, or Mackie, or whatever it is, you know. It would be really cool to use that opportunity to tackle basically the last of the issues that we have, or even unknowns that we have.
Sorry guys, just quick literal interruption. We had to answer a door and let Daeron's family back in. So all right, so we left off. We were talking about town hall and you know, what you're wanting people.
What I'm hoping for, yeah. So basically, my hope with the town hall is that we spend the coming weeks, hashing out in the individual forum threads about each category, right? So new player experience, maps, game modes, etc. All the categories we have up there. What I'd really like to see with the town hall is to focus on the remaining issues that need to be hashed out, maybe, and form a consensus, as well as anything that at that point is still unknown on the development side can ask Russ or another developer directly so that we can hopefully finalize the consensus, the plan, create the roadmap, and hit the ground running in January. So I'd really like to make sure that we're not in that town hall just kind of, somebody saying again their hopes and dreams that don't really, while still important, still significant, don't really have a place at this point, right? Because by December, we've really got to kind of know what we're going to be doing in January. What are we going to be starting with? Things even throughout the year can change in the schedule. We may find out, may find a better way to do something. We may find out a technical reason for not being able to do something or whatever. So the roadmap's always going to be a little bit fluid and adjustable, but it would be, I hope that we can really just utilize all this time. A lot of people are saying, like we, just talked about, how they're impatient. But to me, while I understand that impatience, I also know that these next 5-6 weeks are going to fly by. Sure. And then all of a sudden it's going to be January. And so I hope we can utilize this time to the best that we can, so that we, again, what I want is the best thing for Mechwarrior Online. I want to make it as fun as we can as a community together. Let's, take this opportunity to make these changes and make it fun. And so, and I know these 5 or 6 weeks are just going to fly by. So yeah, anyway, that's what I'm hoping for the town hall. I'm looking forward to getting to that point, because then we're going to be much further along in, in the plan than we are right now.
Okay, so obviously you guys will make a post broadcasting when it's going to happen, where it's going to happen, and then if they have any questions, they can post there. Like I said, just full disclosure, being the moderator, I'm going to be collecting all the questions, and I'll be asking them, so you guys will get full credit, whoever asked said question. So, yeah, I'm going to be like the moderator, and like I said,
there will be I mean, obviously we're going to have to like prioritize the questions based on whatever's the most useful towards
I'll be doing that goal. I've got my work cut out for me, so yeah, that's yeah. But is there anything else, I mean, anything off the top of your head that you'd like to bring up, mention, as far as MWO is concerned, or even Mech 5?
I mean, the other thing is, a lot of my time right now obviously is being taken up with Mech 5 as well, more than the last couple weeks, as we're closing in on our date for release for the Heroes of the Inner Sphere. I'm helping out Matt with more of that stuff. So, I mean, it's like I told you at the beginning of this, I'm pretty tired. Again, not complaining, but there's a lot of work being done. And I wasn't just joking when I said, Mechwarrior headquarters is super busy right now. Like, it's, you remember Slack and all the conversations. It's crazy. It's off the hook every single day. People are just pumped, and it's that final stretch to some pretty big goals and pretty big improvements to both Mech 5 and the fact that it's on Steam. And and then, so to me, I'm excited right now because we're releasing all this new content in December for Mech 5, and then immediately after that, after the holidays, which I'm looking forward to as well, it'd be nice to have a little break, boom, we're right back in this, and it's not waiting until the next Mech 5 DLC. We're right back in this, working on Mechwarrior Online, and with something launching in January, with a plan, with a roadmap, with support packages or whatever we're going to have. So like it's just a lot of energy brewing right now. And there's so much energy brewing that I have like 5 cups of coffee every single day. You can maybe tell sometimes. So
I do 3, no more than that. But
dude,
all right,
I cut it down to 1, and being hired again has brought it back up to like stupid amounts of coffee. But anyway.
Gotcha. All right, well, that's going to be it for MWO. So for all those that don't want to hear about beard talk and
the business
all that,
in the front,
the business in the front, there you guys go. You're welcome. Sheesh. Yeah, a little bit of news. Since last time we talked, we made an offer on a house and they accepted it.
Hell
So
yeah,
yeah,
dude.
man,
That's
it's
so awesome.
exciting. Yeah,
Congratulations. I
we're
heard you
super.
talking a little bit about how you want to set up your office, whether you're going to do green screen or whether you're going to try and be
Yeah,
unfazed or whatever.
yeah.
Um,
I think so. I have this big green screen behind me. Obviously, you can't see it,
you need to
but
get the roll up one, dude.
yeah, I think I'm just gonna get the little roll up one because that way
Because who
the
wants to
room
have that freaking thing behind you all
it's
day,
huge.
every
They can't
day?
see. Yeah, they can't see. You can see it, and it's
Yeah.
actually it goes another few feet. Well, actually, you can sort of see it, and it can. I mean, it's huge. Anyway, so
Yeah.
it's one of those. I think I'll invest in either a roll up one, and then that way you can
Yeah.
push out of the side, and you can just have a normal. But yeah, I'm excited. It's about an hour and 40 minutes away from where we live right now in south of Raleigh. And the cool thing is, it literally was an hour and like 30 minutes to get up to Boone, which is our university where we went to
Oh,
Appalachian
nice. So
State.
that's
Yeah,
just a
like
little hop and a skip.
it literally an hour and you're in the mountains, 45 minutes and you're in the mountains. You're at the
That's
like
awesome,
about
dude.
to so
Good for you.
yeah, it's super exciting. It's not nothing crazy, but um it's
Actually, it is pretty cool. You have a
yeah,
huge backyard.
yeah, it's
Your
huge.
dogs are going to be so freaking happy.
Yeah. It's I know the first thing everyone says is like, you got a push mower? You're not gonna want a push mower. And I'm like, I definitely have a push mower. Like,
you can find a ride mower cheap. Just,
oh man.
Craigslist it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome, dude. I'm very excited for you. I know
yeah,
the feeling
yeah.
is going to
And
be amazing.
it's one of those like where I mean we're moving away from, where my wife grew up. She never thought she would actually settle down here. So that was also but then, it's a little bit, a lot of her family's still here. Her parents moved down to the beach, so it's like, like, well, you guys moved away, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we're excited, but also it's a little bit closer to my friends as well that I moved away from, and but
Cool,
the
man.
tough thing is leaving friends here. But anyways,
Sure.
we're excited. It's one of those things where a new chapter, you flip to a new chapter, and talk of
Yeah.
little hobbits maybe in the future. I mean, and all that fun stuff. So that's
Yeah, that backyard is great for like a swing set or a tree
right.
fort or, something. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely like little Spartan obstacle course for the kids, toughen them
Exactly.
up, like I could
That's
get some
cool, man.
mud back there and some barbed wire. I mean, no one will
Yeah,
notice.
totally. Totally
Yeah,
barbed wire.
yeah, yeah. But so yeah, that's sort of been the. Uh, I mean, we weren't trying to rush, but it
Yeah.
just sort of we looked at a bunch of houses, and we settled on this one. It's just a ranch style for those that are wondering. Stream's seen the photos. We've gone through them all, and
Yeah.
but yeah,
It
and
looks
then
really nice inside, and
yeah.
owning is better than renting,
Oh
man.
yeah,
So
oh yeah, oh
good
yeah,
for you.
yeah. And then interest rates right now are stupid though,
I know.
so
Yep.
there's
Take advantage.
that. But then yeah, we went up to the mountains, and I mean, just like it's
Isn't
my
that a
it's
good
like
feeling,
it's
dude?
such my jam, man. Just
No,
like
me too.
fire outside, walking trail. We went trails. Where we went was like it was off the main path, but obviously you can tell it gets done a lot because you go down to the falls where the falls are for there. And I was just like, man, we gotta come back here during summer and just lays
Yeah,
out
dude.
and just oh man.
North
But
Carolina is, when I came out to visit you, that was the first time I'd been there, and I love trees. I'm a
yeah,
tree hugger, I guess, and I can't really be in areas that don't have a lot of trees, and I feel weird when I am. I just need trees around me. Like right now, it's like I'm in the middle of a campground or whatever. I have so
yeah,
many trees around where I live. North Carolina blew me away. So
yeah,
many freaking trees. It's absolutely beautiful. And yeah, man, I just think it's good for your health, good for your mental health, getting out into the wilderness.
yeah.
That's why I just started Discover PNW, to basically make an excuse for me to get the heck out of my house more.
Yeah.
I love this. I love my job. I love being
Sure.
able to, play with mechs every day, but my sanity has been kept because of the outdoors. The Pacific
100%.
Northwest is just absolutely beautiful, and I would absolutely say the same for North Carolina. So good for you, man. That's going to be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. We go for a walk every night. Like,
Yep, we do too.
I'm gonna wrap up this podcast. I'm gonna go run, eat. We'll go walk. Last night we walked for 5 miles, and so it's just one of those things where, yeah, you definitely have disconnect, and that's one of the things. Like from just get off social media.
Well, and you know what? In these times when we have to social distance and be responsible, freaking get out and walk. It's such a good way to still get out and be a part of the world without having to be in crowded spaces or whatever. Like it's a great way to social distance but still get out there and be alive.
Yeah. I've had a few people. Shout out to Vidarian and a few others that they've taken up walking.
Vidarian.
And a few others as well, and seeing that, like, the motivation, just even just from a health perspective, and then then they, I don't know, it's just really cool. But yeah, so anyways, we're excited. Obviously we've got my little brother and sister coming up for Thanksgiving this weekend, and then we have Thanksgiving, which we're traveling up to Ohio. So we're only going to be there for like 4 days, and then driving back down, and then just a long ass drive. And then, we got a few weeks, but we're not closing until like January 4th because of just the holidays, but then like inspections, and then making sure lawyers can show up. Because, I mean, you're talking most people, I mean, expect what? When you 21st through the, like, past the new year. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's, next thing you know, we'll be moving in, and
that's awesome.
Just sort of enjoying. It's exciting. Like, we're trying not to, like,
fuck yeah.
We're trying not to get ahead of ourselves. Like, hey, we want to make this, because again, we got a lot of family time in between. But yeah, we're definitely excited. So there's that.
Good, man.
Yeah.
Tell Danny congratulations for me.
Yeah. But what about you? How's the boat? How's life? Anything? It's getting cold as shit. So I don't know if.
Yeah, I just had to last weekend go set up inside my boat. I had to set up a dehumidifier and a heater. So basically, it's to keep the mold out. So I have to go to the boat every other day right now and take out the collection, and dump it over the side or whatever, to empty it. But it's all going well. Basically, I've been talking to a couple of boat fix-it type people. One that I've been working with since I got it, and another one that just came into the area and looking to kind of set up my projects over the next 6 months or whatever while it's winter, so I can get some stuff done and get it ready for the next boating season. And we can still go out during the winter. Our boat's fully enclosed, and it has all kinds of heating implements inside, so you can keep warm and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just in boating, there's a boat. About another 1,000. Yeah, that's what boat stands for to most boats. BOAT is about another 1,000. Every time you want to do something, it's going to cost about another 1,000. And which is true. It's a big hole in the water that you throw money into. But if it's something you enjoy, which sure, I would say is the same for anything, gaming, right? How much money can you throw at games and computers and all that stuff? It's my one vice, I don't do drugs. I don't hit the bars. That's my one vice is boats. Yeah. And so I don't mind throwing money at it.
And if you're using it, like if you just have a boat and it's just sitting there and you only use it like twice a year.
It kills me. There's boats in the marina that have been sitting there for years. They look like they've been sitting there for years.
Oh.
And somebody's paying $400-500 a month just to park it there, let alone whatever maintenance they have to do. It kills me. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely. Even if we go down and just sleep on it in the marina just to have a little getaway for camping or whatever, we're going to make use of it. But I'm loving it, dude. I love boats. Every time I go to the marina, I'm just like, I'm home. This is my, this is my safe space. This is my happy place. Yeah. I love the smell of the ocean and the sound of the seagulls and the waves, just everything. I'm super happy with it. It's been a good experience, and hopefully it'll be a good winter.
Dude, were you in the stream last week when I was looking at all those, it's actually, I think it was during Veterans Day, like I was going through all those photos. Did you see that picture of us at San Francisco?
Oh, yeah.
And your beard? You had like a
It was like,
round beard. Like it
it
was
was
like,
round like that,
and
and
it
it was
had a
also
lot less
brown.
gray. Yeah. I was like,
I told my wife about that, and I'm like, well, it's the community that made my beard gray. It's
oh
either the
man.
community or my kids. But
Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was weird looking at those pictures.
Yeah. I was
That was a
like,
long time ago.
yeah, I used to be Chunker Phil. Like, oh
Hey, we've
man.
all gone through our phases.
Right. Yeah. Well, man, hey, I appreciate you doing this podcast. Obviously, to viewers and listeners out there, we'll have the town hall information whenever we lock that down
Yep.
and then get that process rolling. So December timeframe, obviously between the beginning and before they go on
Before we
their
go,
holiday. So
hopefully it's earlier in December rather than later. That's going to
sure.
be my intentions and my goals. So we'll see what happens.
Well,
So,
thank
but
you.
I do want to encourage everybody. Thank you for having me on, Phil. And I want to encourage everybody, please, if you have any desire to be a part of this process to decide what the future of MWO is, go to the forums right now. Go to Developers Corner. Go to the command chair, and there are 8 threads up there for each category. Start participating. Have the discussions with people, and let's prepare for the town hall that we'll be having in December, so
Sure.
we can hopefully finalize everything. I'm totally pumped. Let's do this.
Sure. All right, guys, that's going to be it. I'd like to say thank you again to Daeron for being on, and I will see you next time, sir.
See you.
All right, and that is another Beard Cast Down. I think that's what we're going to call it when we have Daeron on. I think that's only appropriate. But hopefully you guys enjoyed some of that information, especially the cadets, because it's one of those things that really, really matters to me. And of course, for the new players out there, I want them to be taken care of as best as possible. So it's good to hear that's priority, and it's good to hear that Daeron is quite aware of the situation. Albeit it will be interesting to hear if there is actually any data to keep them into tier 3. I'd like to hear what you guys think, and of course, make sure to leave a comment down below. Don't forget to also smash the like button if you haven't done so already. If you're always wondering why, again, it's because it tells YouTube that this content is worth sharing. So make sure to do that. If you like the content that I have here, also make sure to click that subscribe button. There is a little bell notification if you want to know when I go live with new content, or you can just follow on Discord and Twitter and all the other I post and let you guys know. But this podcast is supported by viewers and listeners like you out there. If you guys want to support what I do, and whether it's streaming Monday through Friday, 12 to 6 p.m. Eastern over on twitch.tv/NGNGTV. Come in, join it. It's fun. But if you guys want to support, consider becoming a patron over on Twitch or a subscriber over on Twitch, and one of my patrons as well, if that interests you. I also have an Amazon Associates link where if you guys use it and you buy items through the link, I get kickbacks. It's no, of course, charge to you guys, but it's just another way for you guys to support me. If you're a unit out there looking for advertisement on the podcast, or maybe you want to do a sponsored stream where I hang out with you guys, maybe you show me around a faction play, whatever it is to get attention for your unit, reach out to me on Discord. It's the best way to get a hold of me, or of course, you can just send me a message on here. But yeah, just want to say thank you again for listening. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the conversation and a little bit of an update on my life and of course what's going on with the home. So we're super stoked. I got a little bit more work to do, and yeah, we'll be moving in January. But this was your local No Guts, No Galaxy Mechwarrior podcast signing off for tonight. This is Phil. Until next time.